Welcome back, beautiful, brilliant people, and potential brilliant minds that can subscribe today. On this channel, we are all about business, finances, health, technology, and creativity. So if any of that piques your interest, you should consider subscribing today. Okay. Now I'm going over 5 tips on how to budget your money and build even more of your own wealth. Number 5, you're gonna want to create a spreadsheet. Just saying, this spreadsheet can really be your savior every time you get paid. You can reference back to your spreadsheet. When you create this spreadsheet, of course you want to use in Microsoft Excel. It should not be hard, people. We should definitely remember those skills in school. So you brilliant minds out there, I'm sure you do know how to create a spreadsheet. Now, on this spreadsheet, you want to list your expenses in 3 of these categories: mandatory expenses, living expenses, personal expenses. What do I mean by each of these expenses? Well, your mandatory expenses would be like your car payment, your insurance, or in case your car breaks down, it's mandatory that you get it fixed. So you want to make sure you have money set aside for that. Living expenses. Example of that would be rent, food, utilities, your cell phone bill, gas. That is your living expenses. That goes along with mandatory. Your mandatory is above your living expenses because you want to prioritize it in the right manner to make sure you have money for the correct things that need to be prioritized in your life. And then your last category, your personal expenses. An example would be entertainment. What kind of hobbies you do? Do you like to go skiing or hiking? How much money do you tend to spend when you do these activities? Like me, I like gaming from time to time. Yes, I'm a gamer. Okay, I'm getting that P5. Clothing. These are not necessities. These are not things that you need, like your living and your mandatory expenses. These personal expenses can be splurged on after you've went through the process of building your income from paycheck to paycheck and saving like you're supposed to. Create a spreadsheet that you can reference to every time that you get paid, and you will be straight. Number 4, opening up a savings account. Hopefully a lot of you have done that when you were at a younger age and been saving all these years, you know, and didn't let it go to waste. But unfortunately, not everybody has that type of guidance or support to be able to open up a savings account, and they need advice, and that's why I'm here.
Yes, Daddy.
You're gonna want to go to a bank as soon as possible. Make sure your savings account is open, and then each time you get paid, you want to make sure you set money to the side and put it in your savings account and let that build up each time. Weekly, monthly, annually. Make sure you're consistent with a little amount, you know, each time. It helps for the long run. You know, you can build a lot of savings within a year if you're consistent with putting money to the side. So savings account is number 4, and it's critical. You know, you're gonna want that savings account. It's like that 401k, which I hope some of you have opened as well. You need a 401k to make sure you're comfortable when you decide to retire. Number 3 would be create multiple sources of income besides your career, which I hope a lot of you have achieved. Some of you have not. Some of you might still be in school, which is okay, but you can still have multiple sources of income by working more than one job, right? You don't want to just depend on one job for your income. Just like when times like these hit hard and you lose one source, you will always have that availability for another source. You're still receiving income. You'll be able to continue to save and continue to reference that spreadsheet that I told you about. Okay. If you follow along with what I'm trying to be transparent with you about. It's not as hard as people make it. This information is vital, and it can really help somebody out, and that's what I intend to do. The biggest thing, and I'm gonna give you some advice, is making money online. I'll come out with a video down the road, and you'll be able to get more of a perspective of what I mean when I say make money online. Passive income is your best friend. Okay, you want to make money when you're asleep. When you have your main career and then you have an income stream over here, but then you're also making money online here, do you see how comfortable you can be? See how you can put more money if you want in the bank, in your savings, or you can put more towards things that you actually want to do in life? It's very important that you just don't become complacent once you get your career. You're gonna want to seek out more opportunities to expand your career, your knowledge. That is critical and part of this list that I'm giving to you. That was number 3. Number 2, you want to make sure that your credit is clean. To make sure your credit is clean. It looks very nice. It looks very good. My credit score is definitely in the 700s. Pretty much you want to make sure you pay your bills on time. I'm still kind of old school, so I still write checks for some of my bills because I'm just so used to doing that. It helps me keep up with my bills. Just like that spreadsheet that I told you about, it helps me source it out where I know where my money's going. Even though I can do it online, I don't want to just at a click of a button. No, I like to actually sit down and conceptualize what I'm writing about. Like, okay, yes, I pay this bill monthly and sending this through the mail, making sure they get it. And when I see it drafted out of my account, I know exactly where it's going. It's no difference. I'm not saying it's a bad thing if you pay online. I'm just saying you want to do something that works for you. Not everything works for everybody the same. Just like me, like I'm different. I write checks. A lot of people be like, what? You still write checks? That's correct. That's how I was taught, and that's why my credit score is in the 700s.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
You want to make sure that your credit score is superb. This will open up so many opportunities for you, especially if you are looking to buy a house. Build equity. You don't want to be struggling out here because it's very hard when your credit is messed up. You want something as simple as a new car just so you can get to work because you have a rust bucket that breaks down on you way too much and you put too much money into it. It's very important that you are aware of your credit all the time. And please, ladies and guys, because I hear this more from ladies, do not
let anybody
use your name or your credit because they will mess it up every time. I don't know how many times I've heard this, and I can't even process this myself. Why would I depend on somebody else to make sure they're paying bills with my name on time just for them to mess up my credit? Never, no. There's some people out here that making some questionable decisions. I get that you have friends in a relationship, but you know, self-trust comes first before anything else.
Stupid!
Then, once you build your own credibility, if you want to share with somebody and let it be diminished with no worry, then that's on you. But you want to be smart about it. Building your credit. Why would you let somebody tarnish your credit? It makes no sense to me.
Stupid! I'm not gonna let you get the chance.
Moving along, I digress. Moving along. The number 1 tip in budgeting your money, live within your means. It relates to everything that I've told you up to this point about the spreadsheet, making sure you know where your money goes, about opening a savings, making sure you have a lot of money saved up just in case of emergency, making sure you have more than one source of income so you don't have to worry if one of those sources are temporarily disabled, and paying your bills on time. You want to live within your means because if you do not, it will mess up everything. If you make, let's say, $3,000 a month, you don't want to be out here paying for 10 pairs of Jordans just so you can flex. It doesn't work like that. You might have the money for it, but what about your personal expenses and your mandatory expenses? You have to make sure that you are organized with your finances or you will
suffer the consequences.
Living within your means is so important. Unfortunately, you have so many people that love to flex.
Boy, if you don't...
Me being one of them, but flex materialistic items when they don't really matter. That is not the road that you want to go down, I promise you. But if you live within your means, making sure your bills are paid, making sure your credit's on point, making sure you got that 401 and your savings, making sure you have that spreadsheet, making sure you have more than one source of income, then you will be
comfortable, happy,
with a smile on your face every time you look in your bank account, baby, because you will only know of growth and wealth. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I definitely appreciate you if you stayed all the way to this point. Potential new subscribers, if business, money, finances, technology, and being creative and building your own channel is something that interests you, you should definitely consider subscribing. I have more content coming soon. I just wanted to give you 5 tips on budgeting. Y'all have a lovely, brilliant evening, you brilliant minds. I will see you in the next one. Peace.